The Chicago Bears got great news after that tough loss. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. Together with my buddies, we are the NFC North Guys. If you're a fan of any NFC North team, take just a second, like and subscribe. We're going to be covering all things Bears and everything else NFC North all year long, so don't miss out. Like and subscribe. Before I get into the good news that the Bears have gotten, let me first just bring up, don't let any Lions fan give you garbage. Like, it stinks. I actually live in Michigan, so I really have to deal with the pain of losing to the Lions twice in 1 year. It stinks, but it's like, you know what, Jared Goff, you can have your pride next week as you sit on the couch and watch the Chicago Bears host a playoff game. I know it sucks. I would have loved to see them finish the year off strong, but at the end of the day, one of these teams has a chance to win the Super Bowl, and one of them is going to be, they're probably starting their vacations. Jared Goff might be going to Mexico next week. Lord knows he's not playing in the playoffs. So enjoy your pride, Jared Goff. We have a playoff game to worry about. And that gets into the first bit of good news. I have a few positive things to talk about today. But first bit of good news is the Eagles obviously lost to the Commanders. I know many of you saw that. I know for a lot of Bears fans, they might not have taken that as good news. I know there were a few Bears fans who really wanted to play either the 49ers or the Rams. It's tough to play a division opponent in the playoff. It's tough to play a team 3 times in one season. Obviously, we have some bad memories of playing the Packers in meaningful games, the whole NFC Championship game, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you look at the 49ers, the Rams, and the Packers, there is a clear team who you want to play, and that is the Green Bay Packers. Like, if you just look at their recent schedule, yes, they beat the Bears week 14. That was in Green Bay, but then they go and they lose to the Broncos, they lose to the Bears, they get wiped off the field by the Baltimore Ravens, and then they rested starters today. You can't look too much into that Vikings-Packers game. But at the end of the day, this is a team who's on a 4-game losing streak. Jordan Love hasn't played in 3 weeks. Like, they rested starters today, which I'm sure will be good in some aspects. But no matter who's taking snaps next week, they're going to be rusty. Like, they haven't played as like a complete offense in several weeks. You watch like the college football playoff and take a look at how teams look after having almost a month off. And I think that's what you can expect from the Packers. And then another bit of positive news about the game is this Bears offense is at their best when they're running the football. Take a look at these rushing stats on the season. You got their possible opponents this week would have been the 49ers, who have a borderline top 10 run defense, the Rams, who are right behind them, and then a middle-of-the-pack Packers defense, the worst of the rushing defenses of the 3. And, that's what the Bears need. This Lions game was so tough for the Bears because the running game just didn't get going. For whatever reason, when they tried to run, it left them in a lot of 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10s. They need that running game to overpower their opponents. And this Packers defense has really struggled against the run. Just a couple weeks ago, Derrick Henry went for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns at Lambeau Field on this Green Bay Packers team. And then it's especially, they have a tough time when the quarterback is mobile. Tyler Huntley went for 60 yards in that game, and they were absolutely overwhelmed by the Ravens' rushing attack. And I think that's something the Bears have to try to do when they play the Packers in the postseason, is come at them and dominate the line of scrimmage and run the football. Because that's something, the Bears have struggled recently at the beginning of the games because their defense can't get off the field, and then their offense can't get in a rhythm because they spend so much time on the sidelines. And if they can come into that Bears-Packers game at Soldier Field and run the football and establish DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai keep their defense rested up. I think it will be huge for them and gives them a great chance to win on, I guess I don't know if the game will be Saturday or Sunday yet. But other things to be positive about, Caleb Williams just had the greatest season in Bears quarterback history. I know we all wanted him to get that 4,000 yards so that we can stop hearing that stupid statistic, but it is what it is. He fell just short, finished with 3,942. If you had his rushing, he easily was over 4,000, and just one of the most efficient, complete seasons we've ever seen. Not one of the most complete and efficient seasons that you have ever seen from a quarterback in Chicago. And then another thing the Bears have to continue to be positive about is Colston Loveland and Luther Burden. I know Declan Doyle was kind of talking about what they've been doing lately, and you saw it again against the Lions. Like, Colston Loveland went 10 catches for 90-some yards, had a big touchdown, and there's a reason they keep calling him third and Colston. Like, it's third down. You can just tell Caleb is looking his way. He's become that safety net that Caleb Williams is always looking for when everything breaks down and he needs a play. Colston Loveland has become that guy, and Luther has become just such a great overall receiver. And he's so effective in both like the screen game and deep downfield, and it's making him almost impossible to cover because you have to press him at the line of scrimmage, because the Bears love to throw those screens to him. They love to throw those quick slants to him, and he's just so shifty. You can't let him have space. But then at the same time, if you press him at the line of scrimmage, he's so great at getting open down the field and making the big play. And the emergence of these two has really, I think it's going to be huge in the playoffs. We haven't quite seen the full effects of it yet because Rome Odunze hasn't been healthy. But as soon as we get a healthy Rome Odunze, which I guarantee you he will be there against the Packers. I think he would have played today if the game had more meaning personally. You could see him during the game jumping up and down on the sidelines. He didn't look like he was bothered by his foot. I fully expect to see him against the Packers. And when you have Luther the way he's been playing, you have Loveland the way he's been playing, and then you add Rome Odunze back into the mix, I don't think the Packers are going to be able to cover all three of those guys while also trying to stop the Bears' run game. And when you have both of those working together in harmony, I think you're going to see a beautiful game from the Bears next week. A couple things. They have to start faster. Like, these 0-point first halves, they're not sustainable. You're not going to beat the Packers and then maybe the Eagles, whoever they end up playing, and go to the Super Bowl if you're consistently putting up 0 points in the first half and your defense can't get off the ball on third downs. They got to improve there. And then DJ Moore's got to be so consistent. I don't know if it's just me. Comment below if you disagree. I feel like maybe he doesn't bring down that catch that Caleb threw a pick on, but he should have been able to break that up. It just looked like he got boxed out and just accepted it and kind of checked out at the end of the play and let that get picked off. And I think that's it just feels like when things aren't going right for him, he starts to lose interest. So we need more out of him in the playoffs. Hopefully he's motivated and can have a big game, because if every single weapon on this offense is playing the way they're capable of playing, and I don't think we've seen it all together at any point this season, because it's the Bears will just be unbeatable on offense. But like I said, early in the season, you saw Odunze, you saw Moore, but Burden and Loveland hadn't come on. Now those two have come on, but Odunze's been out. Moore's been hit or miss. Let's see all four of those guys play their best ball next week and just watch the Packers try and stop it. They're not going to be able to. And then I think if, this Bears defense looked so much more engaged and so much more physical and, ready to attack when the Bears got those couple scores. You want to see them be that way right from the get-go, but I think they get frustrated when they're spending half of the first half or 2/3 of the first half on the field And some of that's their own fault for not getting off the field on third downs, but you could just see how much more engaged they were once the Bears offense got rolling. So give me your predictions for next week. Bears, Packers, who's going to win? I like the Bears. I think they're finally going to put it all together on offense, and their running game and all their weapons are going to be too much for the Packers. But you guys let me know what you think, and then don't forget, just like and subscribe on the way out.